Hey guys, it's NCS Fan 001 here, welcoming you to Trophy Talk Tuesday, or Tuesday Trophy Talk. Anyway, today's date is Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. So this will have covered the week of March the 4th through the 10th of 2025. So this was definitely a bit of an unexpected week, as you guys can probably already see. And wow, that was a weird voice crack. Usually doesn't crack like that unless I let it. But anyways, Powerwash Simulator, don't have to scroll back down to that anymore, but Astrobot should be releasing its final DLC level this week. So once that's out, I'll be able to go back and do that DLC. I'm sure I'll stream it. Nothing new from Minecraft. And I believe that Playable Ghouls just released for Fallout 76, but so far I haven't seen anything related to trophies for it, which is a little bit surprising given that it is kind of a bigger update, I guess, but I mean, it's not there yet, so I don't know when we'll get the next set of trophies for that. Maybe whenever the next expedition comes out, which should be like during the summer or something. But anyway, in terms of actual trophy progress, I don't think I made any on Sly 1 this week. Yeah, it looks like this was all the previous week. So in the previous week, I had finished everything in the first 2 episodes of the game, but it looks like I haven't touched the game since. Did all the miscellaneous trophies in all of those levels, so yeah, and then 5 clue bottles. Again, I still don't understand why a couple of these trophies have changed values, because that seems like really, really weird. And knocked that trophy out earlier on this time around, so yeah. And I've done a good bit of the Master Thief sprints. I think I finished like 4 in the first area and maybe 2 or 3 in the next area, so getting fairly close to being done with that at least. But let's get on to the main games of progress this week, which were the 2 versions of Powerwash Simulator with the DLC number 6, Wallace and Gromit Special Pack. I don't have any particularly major ties to the whole Wallace and Gromit franchise or media, whatever you wish to call it, so I don't necessarily maybe get references and stuff from this. But this DLC is actually very, very easy. It's definitely one of the faster, easier ones that we've gotten recently, because the Shrek one, like the Fairy Godmother and the Dragon's Lair, were both fairly big. Actually, so was really most of the ones in this one were pretty big, except maybe the Hideaway was a little bit shorter. So yeah, that one had a lot of longer levels, and then the Alice in Wonderland, like the Mushroom and the Mad Tea Party and the Queen of Hearts, all had pretty long levels from what I remember. The other 2 weren't too bad, and then Warhammer, I think, had maybe that Dreadnought was really massive, and the Thunderhawk was pretty massive with a lot of really small things on it. And then you had Back to the Future. Back to the Future was really only the Clock Tower took a little bit longer, but the Holomax Theater wasn't even too bad. And really, this one didn't have anything all that insane on it. The SpongeBob DLC, from what I remember, the longest one was probably the Mermalair in this one, but it also had two or three vehicle jobs, so those were all shorter. But anyway, the Wallace and Gromit Special Pack, you get 5 trophies for finishing the 5 new levels. You have the dining room and kitchen, which is not a particularly big area. You have the house, which is, despite being, a house, actually isn't that big either. It's just the yard and one side of the house, pretty much. Then the Knit-O-Matic, this is definitely the longest one because it's like a workshop with a bunch of little tiny things you have to clean up and down and on all the walls and everything. The vehicles are really, really quick because there's only 3 vehicles you have to clean, and they're not really all that big. And then the moon rocket is also fairly quick as well. It's a little bit bigger than the vehicle's job, but it's still not all that bad. So it feels like these levels were generally a little bit shorter overall. But one thing that I did notice is I think they might have made the game a little bit more lenient on cleaning. As weird as that may sound, it felt to me throughout this DLC that I didn't have to get quite as many, little specks of dirt cleared off of every single item. It would pop as being complete maybe a little bit faster than it used to. I don't know if anyone else had the same, feeling about that or, sort of saw something similar to that. So please let me know if you did, because it definitely felt like they made it just slightly easier. So if that's the case, then now might not be a bad time to start on the base game if that sort of carries over into the base game, because that would allow you to get through some of the jobs a little bit faster, especially the very last one in the game. But as for the miscellaneous trophies, as always, there is 1 per job. So in the dining room and kitchen, all you have to do is activate the toy train on the floor, so just hit a button on the train and it will start going around. Then in this one's a little bit trickier because you basically have a football, which is a soccer ball for those of us in the US. You have to spray it around the yard until it gets over to where the pond is, and then you have to flip the pond over upside down into a path. So just keep in mind that that's what you have to do for that one. Sometimes the ball physics can be just a little bit janky, but obviously nothing too hard. The auto wash, this is super easy. Literally just hit a button on it and it starts it. So yeah, that one, I mean, there's not really much more else to say about that. And then in this one, the Techno Trousers are the smallest of the three vehicle inventions. So just clean the entirety of that particular vehicle or invention, whatever you wish to call it, first, and you will get this trophy, so nothing much to worry about there. And then the moon rocket job, there are 5 paintings you have to clean inside of the rocket first. They're easy to clean as long as you mark them from your menu, but just keep in mind that like maybe 1 or maybe 2 of them are like right on top of some other objects like a vase and a shelf. So just be a little bit careful on those because there's a chance that, you might accidentally clean something else first before getting the painting cleaned entirely. But yeah, definitely a pretty easy DLC. Definitely the easiest one we've had in a little while, probably since like the Back to the Future pack. I would say you could probably do this realistically in, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 hours. It's mostly the Nitomatic that takes so long, so really like 4 to 5 hours probably. 2 out of 10 in difficulty, nothing much to worry about with it though. And I wonder if there's anything changed around in the base game at all. Still a sub 1% platinum, but it looks like most of the trophies haven't really changed unless they ever maybe changed some of the designs of them or something. But yeah, it looks like nothing has really changed through here as far as I can tell. There's a lot of people that say they think the challenges have gotten harder. I don't know if that's true or not because obviously I haven't played the challenges since the game came out. So I don't know if that's true or not. If that is true, then that's highly unfortunate. But then, let's see, all the trophies are supposed to work functionally now, and then there was still that one in the bathroom, wherever that is. Yeah, this one eventually got changed to be something else when it was originally not as clear. You get the stars from the career mode, no problem. And then, yeah, so a lot of people are saying that, like, they feel that the challenge mode has gotten harder, but I don't know if that's entirely true or not. So if you have been playing this game more recently, definitely let me know if that's actually the case. And then, the big surprise for this week, LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, randomly got its trophy patch after being out for over 6 months. And it randomly got updated with trophies on both the PS4 and PS5. Now, the one unfortunate thing is that just like Thrillville, this is the PSP version of the game. Now, unlike Thrillville, this PSP version isn't all that inferior to the PS2 version. I definitely prefer the PS2 version because that's more of the nostalgia for me. But I mean, it's still LEGO Star Wars 2, and LEGO Star Wars 2 is a huge piece of nostalgia for me. I absolutely loved this game as a kid, played it a lot as a kid, though I definitely had a little bit more of a connection to the original LEGO Star Wars because that was my first LEGO game. And because with this game, I've told this story a little bit before, but actually back when I was a kid and playing this on the PS2, I could never 100% this game because my disc was actually broken and it would always crash in the exact same place on Super Story Episode 6. So I could never finish Super Story Episode 6, which meant I could never get the last gold brick needed. Which is highly unfortunate because it would have been cool to be able to 100% this game back in the day, but never did. But I will be doing it on here, so it's exciting. So you get 3 silver trophies simply for finishing all of the story missions. There are 18 total, 6 per movie. Then you have your True Jedi meter. Now this game is a little bit different with a few of its other collectible types. It is the first game in the series to have a stud multiplier, though it's actually a quite expensive stud multiplier compared to a lot of the other games. And along with that, you actually have to fill the True Jedi meter in both story and free play. I'm not sure if any other LEGO game actually put that in as a requirement, unless maybe the complete saga did, and I'm forgetting. So that's really, really weird, but it's the only game I can think of off the top of my head that actually did that. So definitely just keep that in mind. But once you have a stud multiplier, finishing a true Jedi meter is not going to be difficult at all. You just have to do it for every mission, both story and free play. You have to complete a chapter with all the mini kits. This is, of course, going to be required to get a gold brick for every level. There's 10 mini kit pieces per level, and there are collectible detectors in the game, which are nice. You have to earn a gold brick in the challenge mode. So the challenge mode, I don't remember if that's exactly what it was on the PS2 version, but on the PSP version, which is this one, the challenge mode is basically just a speed run of each level, but during the speed run you also have to collect 10 blue canisters, 10 mini kit pieces that are blue. And once you collect all 10 of them, that's what completes the challenge and gets you your gold brick. So every level has 5 gold bricks in it, one for finishing it, one for each of the 2 different stud meters, the true Jedi meters, one for challenge mode, and one for finding all the mini kits. And then each level also has a red brick, or as they're known in this game, power bricks, which are basically your in-game cheats. So then you have to finish a chapter with full True Jedi mode on free play mode. Again, that's required for all the gold bricks, so nothing much to worry about there. You do have to collect a power brick. These, again, are the cheats in the game, so these are like your multipliers, your invincibility, stuff like that. But there is something interesting related to these, and I'll bring that up a little bit later on the list. Complete any super stories. Super stories are a side sort of quest mode that you get once you have gotten enough gold bricks in each episode. And basically what they require you to do is to run through all 6 missions within the movie, but you have to do it in under an hour while collecting at least 100,000 studs, I believe it was, without any of the multipliers or any of the other... I don't think you're allowed to use red bricks in them, but I could be wrong on that. So yeah, you have to complete a super story and you have to beat the best time for any, which is an hour. So that's how you get your gold brick anyway, so both of those will come naturally while trying to get all the gold bricks. The character and mini-kit bonus levels, these are basically just extra little levels where you have to get 1,000,000 studs as quickly as possible, either using characters or using vehicles. There are 1 character and 1 mini-kit bonus for each movie, so 3 total of these, but you're going to have to do them all for all the gold bricks anyway. Then you have your most time-consuming trophies in the game for getting all the gold bricks in each of the 3 movies. There are 33 total gold bricks in each movie, 30 from the levels themselves, and 3 from those little challenge missions, for a grand total of 99 in the game. So then, once you get to, I believe it's 60 gold bricks, you can play the original Lego City bonus level, where you have to go rampage through a Lego town and get 1,000,000 studs from it. But from what I remember, this one is actually, like, kind of challenging because it has exactly 1,000,000 studs, and a few of them are pretty tough to find, if I remember correctly. Then you have to purchase all the hints. This only costs a few thousand studs, nothing to worry about there. Purchase any character, that's pretty much unmissable. I mean, the cheapest ones are like 5,000 to 10,000 studs, but you'll be wanting to buy quite a few of them anyway. Purchase a ghost character. You don't unlock these guys until you complete the main story. There's 3 of them, and they each cost at least 1,000,000 studs, so they are quite expensive. Purchase any extra toggle. Those are the extras in this game, so that's not really that big a deal. You can purchase the cheapest ones, which are like 5,000 to 10,000 once again. And interestingly here is why you don't actually have to 100% this game, like I thought you would have. You do have to get all the gold bricks, yes, but you do not have to find all the red bricks, and you do not have to buy all of the extras. Now, you're definitely going to want to get at least a couple of the stud multipliers because they're going to make purchasing all the characters much easier. But other than that, you actually don't really need to purchase everything in the game or find all those red bricks. So, surprisingly, it's not a 100% type of completion game for a LEGO game, which is really unusual. It's close to 100%, but not quite. You have to hold 2,000,000 and 6,000,000 studs at one time. Oh, okay, that one is different. Yep. 2,000,000 and 6,000,000 studs at one time. That is not particularly hard, especially once you have some stud multipliers. And of course, once you get all the gold bricks in the game, you unlock the gold brick fountain, which infinitely rains down studs, which with the multiplier on, you can rack up all the studs you need very quickly. Then the PSP version actually replaced the bounty hunter missions, I believe they were, in the original, with these 3 bonus missions, where you basically just replay the final battle of each of the 3 episodes from the original LEGO Star Wars, which is an interesting choice. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, and it's probably easier, honestly, than the Bounty Hunter missions. I don't think you get anything for doing these. I'm not sure if they even count towards your completion. I know you don't get any gold bricks from them, so aside from the trophies, you don't really get anything for it. You have to create a custom character, which means just customize any one thing on the customizable characters in the cantina, and you'll get this trophy. You have to purchase all characters and vehicles, which is going to require quite a few millions of studs, so those are the most expensive trophies in the game in terms of things you have to purchase. But that's also pretty typical for a LEGO game, in all honesty, at this point. And then you have potentially one of the most grindy trophies in the game is that you have to have 4 billion studs at one time. So 4 billion is obviously a lot, even with the multipliers, but really once you get the gold brick fountain, you can just stand under it with the multipliers and you should get this pretty quickly, probably within like an hour at most of standing under it and farming and buying certain items. So it shouldn't be that big a deal, I just might not be able to get that until I'm done with all the gold bricks. The current plan is to purchase the ×2 red brick, because I almost have enough money for it, which will then make all of the true Jedi mode gold bricks significantly easier to get, and then just finding all the mini kits and everything else, and along the way should be able to rack up enough studs, hopefully to get the next stud multiplier after that, and then so on and so forth, and then we'll eventually get up to 4 billion. It might be a little bit of a grind. So I'm expecting that this game is maybe going to take like 20-ish hours to platinum. I think that's a fairly reasonable time unless I'm really underestimating something. The time that I played so far in it is not entirely accurate because I actually did play the game for quite a bit of time before it ever got trophy patched in. So that time is definitely not accurate. So aside from that, I haven't started the PS4 version yet, but I will get started on that fairly soon. So yeah, let's go ahead and sync up the trophies. Alright, level 890, 45%, 29,986 total trophies, so getting very, very close to that number 30,000. I wonder if I could... I don't know if I quite have it set up right for LEGO Star Wars. I think I'm going to miss it by like 1 on that. Maybe I could do it for Sly, I don't know. Need to see if I can figure out a way to time that. 859 platinums, 5,722 golds, 8,074 silvers, 15,331 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Well, the main plan is to, of course, continue streaming LEGO Star Wars 2, having an absolute blast with the game. Can't wait to keep playing more of it. And hopefully we can have it done by the end of the week, or we should be fairly close to being done with it, so I guess we will have to see, though. Aside from that, there's also Sly 1, which I need to continue working on my own, the PS4 version of it. Could probably knock that out in another day or two if I have some time, so that's not really that bad. But now I kind of want to structure the trophies to where I can try to make trophy number 30,000 something interesting. Then, along with that, once LEGO Star Wars is done, we'll get started on Sly 3. I was originally planning on starting Sly 3 this past week, but then Lego happened. So yeah, now I have to remember that sometimes other old games might randomly get a trophy patch at some point, such as, you know, Thrillville Off the Rails, maybe. And then alongside all of those, the Thrillville video is coming along quite well. It's probably a solid like 80% of the way done at this point. I didn't get much time to work on it this week though, with this whole, this whole LEGO Star Wars game coming out and really wanting to stream it a lot for long streams, multiple days. And then just the fact that I started a new job, so that's been kind of exhausting. So yeah, and sometimes it's going to have weird hours like I've talked about before. So that's also messing up the schedule just a little bit. But yeah, main plans are continue working on LEGO Star Wars and Sly for the PS4. And maybe start on the other LEGO Star Wars version as well. And yeah, those are the main plans. Keep working on the Thrillville video. Probably going to bump up this LEGO Star Wars to being a video earlier on, just because it's currently pretty relevant and a lot of fun to play. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments what you guys have been working on over the past week. And I will see y'all back here real soon for some more trophy content.